Anyone's been watching me for a while has seen that we've had some downs lately, but we've been putting in the work. Haven't left the gym, been working with a bunch of top tier fighters, and yeah, I mean, it's just a relief to get to show everybody the stuff I've been working on and all the hard work I've been putting in.
You're not used to losing, and you went on this skid. How was like the mind during that time?
I've tried to be real open about it. We see coaches for technique stuff. We see strength trainers for strength and conditioning. But it's been a while. Sometimes you got to get right upstairs. I've been open about my journey. Finding help in that way. Sports therapists, sports psychologists. And I encourage any young and upcoming fighter who is maybe having some doubts, maybe having some stuff, and they think that, hey, I need to just man up and deal with this. Go seek help, because like a coach, like a strength trainer, they have knowledge in that area, and they're going to help you out, and they're going to steer you in the right direction so you can become the strong person that you need to be when it comes to this game.
The few minutes that you're fighting at, how do you feel about your performance?
It's good to get back in the win column. It's great to push that pace. I know that in the PFL in this league, there's a lot of pressure to we got to get those points. We got to make it to the playoffs. But at the end of the day, we're two dudes in a cage, and I want to make sure that my hand's raised. And really, as cliche as it sounds, we're gonna celebrate tonight. We're gonna get something good to eat. But Monday, we're gonna start reviewing film, looking to see where we can get better for next time, and put on a good show for y'all.
Obviously, you're a wrestler. He is a grappler. What was the game plan coming into the fight?
The game plan was make sure we don't get wrestling deep so far as to give up a neck, give up an arm, and again, shoot face. That was the game plan the whole time. Everybody and their grandma knows I'm coming for the shot. I want to shoot. Look at the ears. Look at the neck. I'm going for the double, but he's doing a good job looking for neck, looking for arms, making sure that I had to stay on top of my game, keep everything tight, and keep that pressure on.
He dropped in the first round. How hurt were you?
I don't remember getting dropped. I got him!
That was good. So obviously, you're not going to make the playoffs, but you more than likely spoiled Chivase's chances to get in the playoffs. Does that make up for it at all?
Look, we're all here. I mean, PFL, we know everybody's looking for $1 million at the end. And it's my first year here in the PFL. And if I can make things a mess, put on some fun fights, and lose, I'm sure, a bunch of people their gambling parlays, hey, that's a fun day for me.
Do you think that win clinched you a spot in next year's tournament?
We can only hope. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Guys, I get paid to hit people. I'm the luckiest boy in the whole wide world. And if they want to keep me in the PFL doing what I love doing, I'm a happy camper.
And last, the most important question: what's the first thing Sean's going to say to you when you get back?
I'm gonna guess that it'd be something along the lines of, you weren't 100% a pussy.
Makes sense. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, how's it going, man? So you're just after your first PFL season. I was curious, what do you want to do next? Do you want to keep up this same level of activity, or what do you kind of see for your future?
Absolutely. It was said at the beginning of the PFL season how rigorous and how active the fighters have to be, and it got compared, especially with my background of collegiate wrestling. We're going every week. I like this. I'm into this. I'm all for this. Once some of the cuts heal, I'm ready to get back into it. I'm ready to get back into the gym. Keep pushing. Keep helping my teammates at Extreme. And if we can get another fight lined up soon, that's just more chance to show the world what I got.
Awesome. And I wanted to ask you about your Instagram bio, because I found it really interesting. It says, I'm an incongruous incapacitator, a complex combatant, and a meandering meat sack of a man. And I was curious, what does that mean to you, and how does that relate to you as a fighter?
Alliteration, always fun. And I try to. I know that sometimes in the fight game, guys put on this face. We do the face off, and everyone's serious. But guys, we're grown men fighting each other in a cage in skimpy outfits. Like, let's not take this too seriously. With that being said, throw the alliteration out there, have fun with it, and just make sure that we're giving the people what they want. Because without the people that watch us, we don't get to do what we love. So if I'm having fun, I'm in the belief that everyone else that's watching me do my thing is having fun. So
I love it. And lastly for me, how did you enjoy competing in Salt Lake City?
Salt Lake City was a blast. I love it here. Came out a little early. You guys got a little bit of an elevation, so I tried to make sure I was out early. Checked out some of the local fare, and Utah's a blast. I love Salt Lake, and your mountains are prettier than the Vegas ones, which I don't think is fair, but hey, do what you do.
You got the snow. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Alex, I wanted to follow up on what you talked about to open up this press, talking about mental health. And you're right, we're in such a macho, bravado sport, and the one side, the physical side of it is very man-to-man combat, right? But opening up about mental health and getting your mind right is not something a lot of men or athletes do. Why is that important to speak on that now?
I think it's so important to speak on it, one, because the stigma against it is nonsensical. Like I said, if you see a coach, you see a doctor, you see a trainer for all this other stuff, why isn't the thing bouncing around in your head as important? And again, as we develop in this sport and as it gets older and more research is done, I mean, like, the NFL has it too. Like, guys get their brains knocked around a little bit, and that probably isn't good for the stuff that's already up there. And I just think that if more people would open up and be okay with it, that we could do away with the stigma, and then we could see more people maximizing their mental health on top of their physical, emotional health.
There's obviously a storyline coming in the second round about this season and clinching playoff scenarios and all of that. But as you talked about earlier, you kind of get to mess things up a little bit. Isn't it fun, the platform and opportunity PFL is providing, not only if you get into the playoffs, but if you don't get into the playoffs, to kind of mess things up? Do you embrace that a little bit?
Hey, I've been a monkey wrench my whole life. Before I was wrestling, I was playing a little bit of high school football, and the game plan that my coaches gave me wasn't, Alex, we need you to run this route, do this thing, get in there. They said, hey, Alex, see that guy with the ball? Mess him up. And I've kind of been living my life by that. Whether it's football, whether it's wrestling, and now MMA, I'm in here to make a mess of things and have with a smile on my face. I think we're being successful.
Definitely are. Last one for me. Can you talk about not getting obviously too attached to the narrative, with the playoff scenarios, but your coaching and your team at Extreme Couture, just how valuable are they to kind of keep your mindset right and keep the game plan in the cage no matter what scenario plays out?
It's a game changer, man. I think back to all my pro teammates at Extreme. We have a room where if it's not one guy fighting, another guy's fighting. It's a camp all around. And as much as an individual sport that fighting is, there's only one dude in the cage. I feel my teammates, I feel my coaches behind me, and coaching me onto what I need. I've also said in interviews before, much like the Joker in The Dark Knight, not really a planning guy, and so I kind of depend on my coaches. He's back there like, Alex, what are you doing, maniac? But the guys with the plans, the guys who tell me what to do with my hands and steer me in the right direction. I couldn't ask for a better team behind me and helping me do what I love.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you. Super.
Thanks, Alex.